Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryesh Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada सदाश्येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्. Okay, so I'm happy a lot of you did do the exercise 3.1 and some of you also did 3.2. So I hope it has given you a better understanding of Karmani Prayoga and Kartari Prayoga. So I found the general difficulty a lot of people seem to have is in the exercise 3.1, the first part, where most people somehow associate the number of the verb in Karmani Prayoga with the number of the agent. A lot of people made that mistake. Translations were done correctly in the second two, which I thought was more difficult. Those were done correctly, but in the basic recognition of the meaning of the verbs, we had some difficulty. So I just want to re-emphasize that when we do Karmani Prayoga, then you should keep in mind that it is the object of the action which is being denoted. Okay? So they both are objects of an action. They are all objects of an action. Whereas what people did is, the object of both of them. This is what a lot of people did. And I found as a general trend, almost 70% of the people did that, I think, who submitted it. So seemed like a problem. So I'm just saying, be very clear that we are looking here at number. So the number here, singular, dual, plural, will go with the objects. That's where it will go with. And there's another doubt which came in is I deliberately did not give you any karmani or bhave prayoga with first person or second person this time. It is all third person. But if it is second person, then the object can only be you. You both, you all. And if it's first person, the object can only be I, we both, we all. There is no other way. And while I say we all here, it's probably not a, I'm just saying here to say they all, etc. in a general way. All doesn't mean that all has to be very inclusive, because the meaning all is conveyed by a sarvanama sarva. So really, it's not a good translation to say, if I say patanti, all read. I have said that myself, but I'm just saying it is better to say many people read in that context. Okay? Because many and all, there's a difference. Many could be reading, but all are not reading. That difference can come. Therefore, understand that the word all, as what I'm guilty of using that word here. Okay? But what I meant is more than two, whoever they are. All right? So this one is one thing which I wanted to point out. And secondly, another question is the sarva as a pronoun, which means many. What number should we use? Should we use singular, dual, or plural? Especially singular or plural. Which one should we use? Collective noun. Janaha, collective noun. Therefore, both are okay. You use singular or you use plural. But if you use singular, then make sure the verb tracks the singular. So, sarvaha gacchati, sarvaha pathati, no problem. Sarvaha pathanti, sarvaha gacchanti. This is what feminine. What will be masculine? Sarve pathanti, sarve gacchanti. Right? Now, if you say sarva or sarvaha using feminine, so some of the ladies decided they should use feminine, which is correct, no problem. But what I'm saying is, in general in the language, what tends to happen is if you use the feminine word, you're definitely restricting it to the feminine nouns. It's clear. But if you use masculine, the way people understand it, if I say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, it does not mean all men should be happy. It means everyone should be happy. So the masculine, if you use Sarve, then it is totally inclusive. So better to stick with masculine unless you have a specific reason to use feminine. Suppose I say, all women cook well. Suppose I want to say that all women cook well. Then what should you say? Sarvaha naryaha, sadhu pachanti. That's okay, no problem. But suppose I said all sing well. All sing well. What is better? Better say sarve sadhu gayanti. That is better. If you say sarvaha, it means men don't sing well, only women sing well. That idea will come. All right. Therefore, although they're equivalent, genders are there and you use them appropriately. Or if I say, all rivers, or, I mean majority, all means majority here. All rivers in India flow from east to west, let us say. Then rivers are all feminine. You'll have to say what? Sarvaha. Then you don't say sarve now. Swami, you told use masculine. No. If what the word is qualifying is feminine or a specific gender, you must go with that. But when there is no qualifying noun, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, there is no noun I'm qualifying. Sarve. Now you have to supply what? Sarve Janaha. If I ask you to supply, Sarve Janaha. So that Janaha is also a collective noun. People. Does it mean masculine, feminine? Grammatically, the word is masculine. But meaning-wise, it includes all people. It does not have a gender-specific meaning. Is this clear? Another question raised to me was this Sarvanama. Adas and tat and idam. What is the difference? And there's one little problem. In Shabda Manjari, the adas word, he has given a meaning of this in masculine. And he has given a meaning of that in neuter. That's a mistake. It should have been maintained uniformly. Whether he says this or that doesn't make a difference, really. But we say this only to show that it is an object within our perception, within view. It's not near, but within our view. That's when you use others. So typical example is Asau Suryaha. Asau Parvataha. Far away, Himalayas. You can see it. From Rishikesh, you can see Himalayas. Asau Parvataha, I can say. But if you can't see it, if you are talking of what's on the other side, then you have to use tat, remote. Tat is remote. Paroksha. Etad is very close, most proximal. And idam is close, but not as close as etad. So this distinction is used in the Shastra, in the commentaries, to show how it's said. For example, in Taittiriya, tasmat va etasmat atmana akasha sambhutaha. Two words are there. Tasmat, etasmat. What is tasmat? What case and number? Shouldn't forget, What case and number? 5. Good. 5. So what does it mean? From. Tasmat. From something which is paroksha. And it is qualified by another adjective, which is what? Etasmat. What is etasmat? Very close, not remote. So what does it mean? Means whatever is tasmat is etasmat in the context. Tasmat is what? Ishvaraha, tatpada. Etasmat is what? Equivalent to aham, because nothing is closer than me. So Shastra will use the distinction between tat and etad. And Swamiji would say, tasmat etasmat is Mahavakya. It makes it Mahavakya right there. Because you include tat and tvam. It's over. Brahmana is extra there. So the point is, these things can be very useful for us. These subtle differences. But when we are translating our simple classroom exercises, I said, don't worry. Just translate everything as this. Now, another question. Swamiji, it says in Shabda Manjari this. But your translation is this, she, he. Now you tell me, suppose there's a boy close by Should I say this boy? I can. Can I say he? It's equally good. When you're translating to English, you could say he is brilliant. Or instead of saying this boy is brilliant. You understand the difference? Ayam balakah buddhiman. Or what can I say? Ayam buddhiman. Enough. Balakah is not necessary. Because you're seeing the fellow in front of you. When you translate to English, what will you say? You have a girl and a boy. I say buddhiman, buddhimati. Now, how will you translate? How will you translate? You better say he is brilliant, she is brilliant. How will you say he now? You have to use masculine. Somebody who is close, not very close. So what will you say? Ayam balakah. Iyam balika. If it's a fruit or something like that, or a knowledge, idam jnanam. How will you translate idam? This. Neuter. How will you translate girl? She. How will you translate a man? He. Okay? Therefore, he, she, it is just to show gender difference, okay? In a pronoun. I hope this is clear. Anybody else has a doubt on this now? I'll nail it now so that you don't have to come back to with the same problem again. Okay? And this distinction between ether and tat, there is a small verse and it is there in Shabda Manjari, the footnote. You can go look at it. Okay? Any other questions you have at this time? Yes, Malati. Please unmute yourself, Malati, and speak.
Yeah, 1 second, Swamiji. Yeah, section B, Swamiji, second sentence. Tena suryah drishyate taraha cha.
Yeah.
So the translation is the sun and the star are seen by him.
Mm-hmm.
So do we use drishyate here or should it be?
Drishyate. That's the question?
Yeah, drishyate.
Singular, dual? Singular
Yeah.
or dual? Is that the question?
Singular or plural? Yeah, or dual. Yeah.
Dual. Okay. See, the point is, I could say the sun is seen and the star is seen.
Yeah.
I could say the sun and star are seen. It's your wish. You can use either, but just make sure the verb goes along with the choice you made. That's it.
Okay. So drishyate is okay.
Is also okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Drishyate is also okay if you put it that way.
Okay.
All right. Yes, Santosh.
Pranam Swamiji.
Yeah.
Section C, can we speak now about section C?
Ask me the question. I will decide how much I want to get into it right now.
With the 11th one, Swamiji, that Shivaha Kailase Asti Iti Shruyate.
Yeah.
About that one only, I have written like Shivena Kailase Adhyaste or Nivasyate something.
See, use extra words, okay? When I say change the prayoga, I want you to use the same words, except change what? The karta, karma, and verb. Just the form should change. Nothing else should change. You're using all your own words. It's okay. It may be okay. But all I'm saying is, in the exercise, my purpose is only to change the prayoga, not change the words used. Therefore, I'm saying Shivena Bhuyate. That's all that is.
Shivaha Kailase Asti Iti Bhuyate.
See, the point is this. Asti iti bhuyate you don't do, okay? Because asti and bhuyate are equivalent, okay? Asti iti shruyate. Shruyate is already karmani prayoga. All right?
Okay.
So one way of saying it, it's a sentence already in karmani prayoga. I won't have to do any changes. Leave it. But if you decide to change the quoted sentence, Shivaha Kailase Asti, then you have to change it to Shivena, right? Kailase Bhuyate. Asyate won't be correct. It's an exception. You have to say Bhuyate. That sentence was intended by me more to make sure you remember the avyaya iti, not for changing the prayoga, but it ended up becoming a subtle problem there. Okay. Sometimes I have an intention, but it goes, say, for example, I had a sentence. There was a sentence which is Phalani khadanti.
Hmm.
Phalani khadanti. Now, very interestingly, it can be interpreted two ways. Phalani can be neuter singular, I mean neuter first case, or neuter second case, right? So you can say the fruits eat, many fruits eat, or what? Someone eats many fruits. Both are okay. All right. But to me, common sense is khadanti. You start with the verb khadanti, then you say, what is eaten? Phalani. That makes more sense. That's how I looked at it. But somebody did give me an answer which said both options. They gave me both options. Phalani khadanti, or because there was one more sentence earlier. What did it say? Ghataha karoti. Ghatena kriyate. So now the question is, what is ghataha karoti? What does ghata do? How can it be karta? Honestly, it was not intended. I probably mistyped it that time. It went that way. But that makes sense. Grammatically, you can make sense out of it, okay? Grammatically, you should say what ghata does. That's correct. That's all right. So I'm saying sometimes the result is, the question sometimes was not what I had in mind, but it becomes something on account of a mistake or on account of people's way of looking at it. Okay? So that's all there is to it. All right?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Priyanka?
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, ma.
The exercise 3-2.
Yeah.
Confused about the translation where Visham Ken Api Khadyate.
Okay.
English translation is
Okay. Yeah. See that basically, what is the sentence there? Vishaha, right? Na kena api khadyate. Correct? Which means I gave a translation. Poison is not eaten by anybody. All right. Now, there the kim is not interrogative. Not interrogative in sense of, will somebody eat? That's not the meaning there. The meaning is by nobody, by no one whatsoever the poison will be eaten. Now you have to convert it to kartari. So kena becomes kaha. Kena becomes kaha. Kaha api. Kopi means what? Whosoever. Same meaning. Kena api kaha api. But now it became what? In kartari prayoga. Same meaning. By anybody. So it becomes nobody. Kaha api. Nobody. Visham khadati will eat poison. So I think your confusion was that Kim has a question kind of thing. Here it is by who. It's a question, all right, but there's a slight difference the way it's taken. Is that clear?
it's not necessarily always used as a question.
It is a question because I'm asking a question. Oh, fair enough. Here it's not a question. Correct. When I say kenapi, it's an indefinite thing. Why nobody would be eaten? Sometimes it's a rhetorical question. Suppose I say, kaha visham khadati. It's not really a question. Kaha visham khadati. Grammatically, it's a question, all right. But really what it's a rhetorical question. If I ask my tone, who will eat poison? Is that a question? So well, who will eat an ice cream? That's a question. Who will eat poison? It's not a question. It's akshepa. Right? So it is a question because I'm saying, who will eat poison? Whoever will eat poison. But the intention is this. Nobody will eat poison. All right? So that kenapi here is not a question. It is nobody will. That idea. Kena is nobody. It's not by who. It's nobody. That's the translation to answer your question correctly in that context. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? We proceed? Good. So, important thing is what? Karmani prayoga is always going to denote the object. That's important. Bhave prayoga will denote the meaning of the dhatu. So if you look in exercise 3.2, I said if the dhatu has a karmani prayoga meaning, you write it. Otherwise, I didn't say anything. Why? Because bhave prayoga is same as meaning of dhatu. If you know dhatu artha, you will know bhave prayoga meaning. There is no problem. Doing, eating, thinking, walking, talking, same meaning you write is done by somebody. Why make you write extra? So I just said, leave it as it is. Okay. But Most people who did 3-2 first section have done it correctly. Most people have done it. I think you would have received answers by now, but it's done well. No problem. And I saw a good improvement in terms of your understanding of Karmani Prayoga in the last 3-1 and 3-2 both, which is very good. So keep this in view all the time, because this will help you in the language immensely. This Kartari Karmani Prayoga should be as clear as you can have it. Okay. Some people had errors when, like in the declension. So once you say masculine 1-3, so somebody wrote sarvaha, sarvav, sarve, instead of that they wrote sarvehe. That is wrong. But you at least know that it is 1-3 masculine. I'm happy. Now your only problem is you don't know what's the form. That's a smaller problem. So that's why I asked you to write the case and number. So if you write K, I know it's Kartari Prayoga, Karmani Prayoga. If you say T, I know it's Kartari Prayoga. 3 is third person. So now I know your thinking is right. Your knowledge of a form may be wrong. That's a smaller problem to solve. If your knowledge of the form itself is, if the knowledge of what form is used, third person, first person, second, if that itself is messed up, then we're in bigger trouble. Okay? Yes, Ganeshan, you have a question?
Yes, Swami. The bhave is necessarily with respect to akarmaka dhatu, Swamiji.
Bhave is akarmaka. Yes, it cannot be for sakarmaka. But if it's a sakarmaka dhatu and the speaker does not have a desire to mention the karma, then it can still go in bhave.
Oh, that was one thing I noticed, that even sakarmaka dhatu.
Yeah, any dhatu can take bhave if there is no karma vivaksha. Karma vivakshayam bhave prayoga bhavati.
Okay.
Because it is as good as a karmaka from the speaker's perspective. He is not giving the karma. So two possibilities. A dhatu cannot take a karma, or I will not want to tell you the karma. So food will be eaten by me. Khadyate. Khadyate. Kim khadyate? Na vaktum ichhami. I don't want to tell you.
Okay, got it.
That's it. That's all. So whole language is vivaksha. Speaker's vivaksha. What does he want to convey? So you can say, sometimes you can use a particular karaka on your choice. So for example, there's a vessel. It's called sthali. Okay. Sthali pachati. This is a sentence. Sthali pachati. I hope all of you know pachati. Pachati means cooks. Now, what does it mean? The vessel cooks. Does a vessel cook? Does a vessel cook? Is it a karana or a karta? Sthalyam pachati, I can understand. Saptami, adhikarana. Sthalya pachati, tritiya, karana, I can understand. Sthali pachati, all three are okay. What does it mean, sthali pachati? That's, when the people first saw a pressure cooker, they are so amazed by it. It cooks so quickly. Sthali pachati. It cooks very well. To say that, you say sthali pachati. It's a very nice thin vessel. It cooks very quickly. The vessel is so special. You want to make idlis. You can't make it in your, some funny vessel. You need a vessel where it can be steamed. Suppose that steaming vessel was new. Then how would you say? That vessel is a miracle vessel. Sthali pachati. Your intention is to highlight its ability to do it, not as an instrument. So I'm saying the karakas are dependent to kartri vivaksha, vaktri vivaksha, the speaker's choice. He can present something in one karaka or another, or he can use shashti to not highlight any particular karaka. All these choices are available to the speaker. Okay. So in any situation, we have to see, when we see a word in a context, we have to see what will it mean there. All right. Is that clear?
Yes, Swami. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now, last time we were looking at introduction to krdanta. So in krdanta, what's the most important thing to remember? A Krt Pratyaya may be added to a dhatu to form a pratipadika, a noun base, which is called a krdanta pratipadika. Now, generally, A Krt Pratyaya is added to a dhatu in the sense of a karaka, in the sense of some karaka. What are the karakas? Kartrikaraka, karmakaraka, karanakaraka, sampradana, apadana, adhikarana. Sampradana, you don't worry too much about. We won't see much of it in this context. But karma, and then one more is karma, but not sakarmaka. Then what will it be? Bhave. Karma only. Variation of karma is, it's not another karaka. But karma not being possible in a karmaka, the usage is called bhave prayoga. All right. So now whenever we take, now when you add to a dhatu, if you remember Tinganta also, a dhatu has got what? It can have a time component. The action is happening in which time? Now, earlier, later, or is it timeless? You see the possibilities? Timeless, present, past, future. And in past and future, you can split it further. Present, past of a day, an indefinite past, or a very old, hoary past. Very long ago. Parokshe. Neither you nor your grandfather saw it. Parokshe. Okay. Not today. Anadyatana. Adya is today. Anadyatana means not of today. Anadyatana bhuta. Bhuta means past. Anadyatana bhuta would mean what then? Not past belonging to one day. Anadyatana bhavishyati. Bhavishya means future. Anadyatana bhavishyati means what? Not future of the day. All right. So this is our timeline. Today, present tense. Past, immediate past, one day's past, remote past. Future, within a day, open-ended future. General past, general future. This is how the lakaras are organized. We have seen so far what? Lat lakara. Lat is what? Vartamana. Present you cannot split. Present is present. You can say present year, present month, present century, present millennium, makes no difference, but it's present. But when you use lat lakara, so far I have always said it's what? We've translated as, walks, talks. But it is technically possible, and we do it all the time, to use the present tense to also specify a near future or near past. You have arrived. When do you come? I'm just coming. I'm just coming. Hey, you have come already. No, I'm just coming. Means what? You understand. I'm using lat lakara, but the meaning is immediate past. Are you still here? I thought you were taking the flight. I am. I'm going. I won't say I will be going. I am going. Hey, but you're not getting up. You're still sitting on a chair. No, I am going. Understand now? That's how the language is, right? We all talk like that. And that is captured in the language. And therefore, the grammar will accommodate it and say, yes, lat lakara may also be used when the time in the speaker's view is very close to past, very, very immediately past, or is about to happen, imminent. In these cases also, vartamana can be used. Is this clear? Timeline is clear. Timeless. What is timeless? Speak the truth. When? Only in the past? Only today? Only in future? No. Timeless truth. Can be. Just an example, okay? So you have a timeless, words which can be timeless, or words which are in a given segment of time. All right? This is one dimension of Krt Pratyaya. You should ask, which time does it operate in? It's a good question to ask. Krt Pratyaya means which time? What's the time zone it operates in? Another important question is what? Which karaka or karakas can it denote? The pratyaya comes in the sense of a particular karaka. So you should ask, which karaka? Is it coming in the sense of kartri karaka, or karma karaka, or karana karaka? And what is the kriya? The dhatu tells what kriya it is. The dhatu, the root tells you the action, underlying action. And the pratyaya tells you in which sense. Is it an agent of that action? Is it in the sense of an object of the action? An instrument of the action? Or a location for that action? What sense? And when you form the word now, you get a word which means a word in the meaning of that karaka, like asanam. Asana means what? Seat. Why is it a seat? Because of the pratyaya ana. And it comes in the meaning of what? The location of sitting. As means to sit. Location of sitting is what? The seat. Or the instrument of sitting could be. That's my desire, how I will play with it. But you get a word. So now with one word asana, you have created what? One single pratipadika, which means a place of sitting. Straightforward, right? Suppose I say, vakta, vach dhatu. I have added a krit pratyaya called trit. Don't worry about the pratyayas right now. This is just to make you understand krdanta words. Trit you add. What will you get? Kartru. It will decline like dhatru. Karta, kartaro, kartaraha. Karta means what? The agent of, what is dhatu artha? To do. Agent of doing. Agent of doing. Now, I can say Ramaha karoti. Ramaha ghatam karoti. Rama makes a pot. Or I can say Ramaha ghatasya karta. I can say that. All right. So we have another way of saying now. Instead of saying Rama makes pots, I'm saying Rama is the maker of pots. There's no big difference. There is a difference. But what I want to say is my choice. All right. So you can add a pratyaya in the sense of a given karaka. So another question to a krit pratyaya should be what? In what sense, in what karaka sense is a krit pratyaya going to be added? In what sense can it be added? The same karaka, same pratyaya can be added sometimes in multiple senses. It can be added in multiple senses. For example, jnanam. Jnana. Jnana can be bhave sense, which means what? Knowing. It can also be the means of knowing. Jnayate anena. See, now you should know why I have stressed so much in Karmani Prayoga. I am going to say everything in Karmani now. Jnayate anena. It is known by this instrument. And that would be what? Jnanam. Word is jnanam. But what does it mean now? An instrument of knowing. Likhyate anena. You write with this instrument. What will it be? Lekhani. Lekhanam. Lekhani. Lek became lekhana somehow. Okay. Kriyate anena. You do something with this. Kr plus ana becomes karanam. That's how you get karana. So you can see that now I can make a word and it can mean different things depending on which is the meaning which best applies in that context. So in some contexts, jnana will mean knowledge. In other context, what will it mean? It will mean an instrument of knowledge. Not common, but it will be so. Famous example for us, Gita 13th chapter. Amanitvam adambhitvam. Bhashyakara will say here, etad jnanam iti proktam. This is said to be jnanam. What is jnanam? They are not knowledge. Jnayate anena iti jnanam. That by which knowledge is known, which means it's a means of knowledge. What's the means of knowledge? The attitudes, amanitvam, madambhitvam, are a means of knowledge. How do you understand that? By knowing that the pratyaya ana can also be added in the sense of an instrument. Am I making sense so far? Any problem here? So this is how a Krt Pratyayas is added. So now you should ask what? Which time zone does it apply to? And which karaka or karaka senses can it be added in? Two questions. Third question you can ask. Is it gender neutral or does it only get added in a specific gender? Question is clear? Is the pratyaya when you add, will you get a word which is gender neutral or will you get a word only in a specific gender? For example, suppose I add this pratyaya to in the meaning of bhava, jnanam. This can only be neuter. You cannot make it in a gender. Jnanam is neuter in that context. All right. But suppose I add a pratyaya, a different pratyaya, and the pratyaya is tavya. There's a pratyaya called tavya. And the word will become patitavya, ktavya. Now, this tavya is gender neutral. What do I mean by gender neutral? I mean, whenever I say it's gender neutral, what I mean is if you just add that pratyaya, you will get a masculine word. You'll get a masculine word. Or it can be declined as neuter also. Akaranta masculine or akaranta neuter. Tavya ending in a. Akaranta masculine or akaranta neuter. It'll go. But if you want to make it feminine, you add a stri pratyaya. And you'll get what? Patitavya. Patitavya. Kantavya. You will get. And that will become what? It will decline like Lata or Rama, Akaranta Silinga. But what is the Pratipadika? It is gender neutral. You understand what I mean by gender neutral? It means in masculine and neuter, it will be available for you to decline. It can take either gender. Feminine also it can take. But when it takes feminine, there may be an extra operation which may change the form of that word. Is this clear? So, question is what now? When you add a Krt Pratyaya, is it gender specific or gender neutral? Now, let me give an example of gender. I gave one example of gender specific. Yes, Deepthi, you have a question?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah.
This, when we say gender neutral in tavya pratyaya, so adding it gives masculine neuter, then we put then it is different for feminine gender, right?
Yeah, but see what I'm saying is the base pratipadika is now what? Patitavya. Okay? If you decline it straight away, you will get masculine forms on your depending how you decline, like Phalam or like Rama. But if you want to get a feminine, there is one more operation involved. Same pratipadika, but to make it, the meaning doesn't change. When I say same pratipadika, meaning doesn't change, but you want to decline it as a feminine gender, then you may have to add another pratyaya. So it will become patitavya. Okay? Understand what I'm trying to say. Do you want to remember it as three words? Patitavya in masculine, patitavya in gender neuter, patitavya in feminine. No, you want to know patitavya in one way. Tavya means what? Has a meaning. And you want to keep that meaning same across genders. Therefore, it's an adjective. Remember, we saw earlier. I said it's called trilingi. I showed example in dictionary. And I said they are normally krdanta words. Same thing I'm repeating now. That these words basically are gender neutral. In masculine, it requires no additional operation. Therefore, it can decline as it is. In neuter, it requires no additional operation. Therefore, it declines as it is. But feminine has a condition. Whenever anything has to be declined in feminine, it must go through the feminine factory floor. And if some pratyaya gets added, it gets added. Okay? Is that clear?
Thank you, sir.
Good. All right. So now, suppose I have the word moment. Gam dhatu, moment, abstract noun, bhavyartha. I can say gamanam. That is neuter only. I can say gatihi, feminine only. You cannot convert to masculine or neuter, gatihi. Okay. So the point is now, when you see a pratyaya, ti, you should know, oh, it's feminine. Therefore, the word will be feminine. No questions about it. All right. So there is gender neutral, and some will come only in masculine, some will come only in neuter, and some will come only in feminine. Some fellows are more funny. We don't want to get there right now. Okay. This is enough for us to start. All right. So you have what now? Dimensions. Karaka dimension, time dimension, and gender dimension. Then the meaning of dhatu is the same. It's the dhatu's meaning. You don't have to worry about it. Dhatu itself can have many meanings. That's a different problem. So if you will go and look at your exercise 3.2, there were 24 dhatus. And a lot of those dhatus have multiple meanings. Okay. So if you have the enthusiasm, you can find all the meanings and know what it means. If you don't, your knowledge is limited to one meaning. And sometimes the books don't help you. Say, for example, the dhatu ni. It'll say to accept or to carry, etc. You know, but there's another meaning common. What is it? A leader. If people accept somebody, he becomes a leader. If people listen to you, you become a leader. That's an implied way, but that's a common meaning. Neta. If I ask you in Hindi or Sanskritam, what does neta mean? What will you say? Carrier? Nobody will say that. They will say leader. Why? That's the common meaning. But how did it come? From ni dhatu. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Netaji. Why Netaji? Respected leader. Right? Now, if you go purely with our Shabda Manjari translation or Dhatu Manjari, we'll be in trouble. We'll translate it carrier. That won't work. So understand that the language, every word will be used in a given sense and multiple senses at times. And we are not going to be able to tackle all that through 5 exercises. It won't work. That is something which has to grow on you in time. It will. So far as you keep studying, it will grow. And at least in the Vedanta context, it will grow. Gam dhatu, what does it mean to you? To go. Right? But now, you know, if I say, did you get it? Did you get what I said just now? Is get, what does get mean now? It means, did you understand? Okay. You see, I'm using the word get in the meaning of understand. Similarly, gam can be used in the sense of understanding. But typically we'll have a upasarga, adhigamyate. But there are meanings like this. So I'm saying we are not going to be able to see all the meanings here. But the idea of giving an exercise is you decide how much to stretch. You can stretch more. Some people stretch a lot. And I appreciate that. Because when you stretch, you learn. It's like, you know, you exercise more, you have more flexible, supple body. So you can do more with it. If you decide to be very stiff, you'll remain stiff. Language also will be stiff. So you decide how much you do. But that initiative comes from you. So I have given you 24 dhatus for you to do some work on, so that you know and you get familiar with the forms. Very important. All right. Now let's come back. So we had time dimension, right? Timeless, past, present, future. In past and future, you may have further shade of difference. All right. And then there can be an extra meaning. Like, you know, say for example, in lakaras, we have how many lakaras? These are all revision, okay? How many lakaras we saw? We saw about 10. 11 you can count, doesn't matter. But the point is what? Some of the lakaras are in matter of time, on a timeline. What other lakaras? We call them moods in English, but what do they imply? A particular sense. So vidhiling is a sense. What is the sense? It could be a mandate. It could be an option. It could be a possibility. It could be a polite request. All these are possibilities of that mood called vidhiling. Lot is another mood. Similar vidhiling, but some changes. Ashirling, it's called benedictive. It's a blessing used in a situation of wishing well. This is there in think, lakaras. Now, similar possibility exists in Krit also. In Krit Pratyayas also, a similar possibility exists. So I could add a pratyaya in a given sense, a given emphasis, a given meaning. So for example, I want to say, this must be done. This must be done. This must be studied. How will I say? I can use lot lakara. I can use vidhiling lakara to say it must. Or I could also use a Krit Pratyaya. Tavya. Partitavya. Means what? It means now, partitavya, I will tell you now, it is timeless. What does it tell you now? I'm telling you, Tavya Pratyaya is timeless. What do you understand? There is no past, present, future bondage to it. It can go in any gender, right? In any time, not gender. Now, and it is gender non-specific. So what will you do now? It's time, open time, not in fixed time, and it is non-fixed gender. And I will tell you now, it is added in the sense of a karaka of karma. Karaka is karma. All right. I have given you 3 pieces of information. Karaka is karma. And time is non-specific. Gender is non-specific. Now, I am forming a word. Partitavya. Partitavya. Pat plus tavya. You have to tell me now. Those who already have studied all this don't answer. But those who haven't studied, you have to tell me now, what will the mean partitavya mean? Try. Raise your hand. I will ask you to answer. Yes, Sharad.
Should be read.
Yeah. So how do you get that meaning?
Because the verb is denoting the karma karaka.
Correct. Therefore, should be read. Correct?
And
To be
because it is timeless,
that is
time
not
doesn't apply to it.
That is not showing in time. Correct. And gender doesn't matter. Now the point is, you said what? What do you say is the meaning?
Should be read.
Should. How do you get should? To be read. Why should be read? Where did the extra meaning come from?
Can be.
Good. Now I'll tell you. The extra meaning in tavya is should. Now you can say what? Should be read. Is that clear? Should be read. Now you tell me, is it difficult for you to give, if I give one more word now? Now, gam, gantavya. Somebody translate for me. Gantavya, gam to go. Yes, Manjula.
Should be gone.
Should be gone too.
To,
Otherwise,
to.
it's not full.
Should
Okay?
be gone to.
Should be gone too. Okay, Archana. Labdhavya. Labdhatu.
Must be gained, should be gained.
Should be gained. Good. Meaning is clear to all of you now? Now, take any dhatu. You just add this. That should sense is not mandatory. It may have it. It may not have it. It may just be to be gained, to be ready, studied, to be gone to, or it may also have meaning of should be gone to. Contextually, you have to decide which way you want to go. But general thing is, it is like that. This is tavya. Similarly, you have pratyaya, aniya. What is the pratyaya? Aniya. You add to patha. What will you get? Pathaniya. Gamaniya. Labhaniya. Okay? Any dhatu you can take and add. And what's the meaning? Same meaning as tavya. No difference. Karmani, right? Or bhave. Bhave also is possible. If it's a karmaka, it'll be bhave artha. Like, you know, see, if I say bhavitavya. Now, bhudhatu has got a subtle, one meaning is ease, another meaning is becomes. If you say becomes, then it should become. But otherwise, it will be like that. That bhave artha will come. Okay. So like this, tavya, aniya. One more pratyaya. Not one more, there are a few, which will end up being ya. It's called yat, nyat, kyap. There are a few pratyayas. Don't worry about names. But these pratyayas are all added in the sense of what? Karma, right? Added karma or bhava sense. Gender neutral, right? And now we have a method to understand these words. If you want, how will decline? How will karaniya decline? Karaniya. What's it ending in? Ya is ending in what? Karaniya. So in how will it decline? Like Rama Shabda in Pullinga. If you want feminine, karaniya, like Rama Shabda. If it's neuter, like Phala Shabda. Do you have a problem now with that? You can use the word freely. Understand? Okay. Now we will now try to understand a Krt Pratyaya with a time dimension. Till now it has been time free. Now let's add a time dimension. Time dimension I want to add now is in the sense of past, general past. Okay. Now, a pratyaya added in the sense of past. What are the questions you had asked me now? Karaka is what? Karma or bhava. Karaka is karma or bhava. Time is past. Gender is gender neutral. All right. And the pratyaya happens to be ta. Pratyaya happens to be ta. Content is just ta. Okay. Now, patha dhatu. You add a ta, it becomes pathita. Gam dhatu you add, what will become? Gata. Bhuj dhatu, bhukta. Kr dhatu, krita. Smr dhatu, smrita. Vish dhatu, veshita. Some changes can be there. Don't worry about the changes right now. Focus on the in the ending and understanding the meaning, right? So now my question to you is, who will answer now? What is the meaning of pathita? Amyanshu.
Having read. Patitva.
I didn't say pathitva. Don't give me words. I said pathita. You have to go with what we have seen so far. Dhatu is pat, to read. Correct. What's the pratyaya? Ta. What sense is it added in?
Done.
Karma or bhava.
Okay.
Karma
Right.
or
Karma vach and
bhava.
vach.
Right? Then time is past. Right? Now you tell me the meaning. Think and tell.
Read.
Make it more clear. You have to show me all the meanings, components are understood, all right? You can use more words. English, no problem. Explain to me what you understand. Having difficulty? Venkat, go ahead. Unmute yourself and answer. Yeah.
Reading.
Reading is the meaning of the dhatu. That's meaning of patha. I am asking you of the word pathita.
Present continuous, so it's a continuous.
No, I didn't say all those words. I said I gave dimensions. I said it's past, it's karmani. So you have to use all that. You cannot answer it just based on some other idea. Yes, Deepti.
Has been read.
Has been read. An object which has been read. Correct? Is this clear now? It has been read. Something has been read. All right. So now I'll ask you, pathita. Hands down. I will again ask you to raise hand. Next question. Okay. Pathita. What does it mean now? Has been read. How will it decline in masculine? It's gender neutral. How will it decline in masculine? Like Rama. Pathitaha, pathitau, pathitaha. Right? Now I want to know what would be the meaning of pathitena. You have to know the meaning of pratipadika first now. Has been read. And now I'm adding a vibhakti to it. Pathitena. Yes, Douglas. Unmute yourself, please.
Like based on what has been read or by what has been read.
So in what sense? What karaka are you saying? Third case. What meaning is there for third case?
Karanam.
Karanam. So you have to say that what has been read is the instrument.
Yes.
Okay. With what has been read. That's the kind of sense you'll have to get. Correct? Is it making sense? So I'm saying now you have to be able to extend this to every vibhakti. Not one. Every vibhakti you have to be able to understand what it means. Till now it is easy. Rama, he is the object, he is the agent. Okay. At least that you say. Agent, object you say. Because every krdanta word will have a full meaning. You have to understand it. And then with karaka, with time, with gender, everything is there. And now you have to add a vibhakti and understand it better. That's the challenge. It's not a challenge, but it's an extra step you have to take. So what is patita mean? That which is read. Now suppose I say pustakam. What is read normally? A book, right? Pustaka. What's the gender of pustaka? Yes. Anshu?
Neutral gender.
Neuter. So what will it be? What will be this prathama? Pustakam. Right?
Yes.
Pustakam. Now I want to say the book is read or was read. Book was read. Pustakam is was read. Right? So pustakam has to be denoted. It's object. What will you say along with that? Pathita you have to use. Pratipadika pathita.
So second ekvachan will come. Second Ditya ekvachan.
Think. Now pathita means what is read. It has to go in the same number. It has to go in samanadhikaranam with the book. Pustakam, neuter 1-1. I hope you are able to see this, okay? Pustakam means a book. And now, yes, Santosh, you want to say answer it?
Yes, sir. Pustakam pathitam.
Pustakam pathitam. Pathitam is what now? What gender?
Napumsaklinga.
Good. What's the case and number?
First case, ekvachan.
Ekvachan. First case singular. So what happened now? Pustakam pathitam. What does it mean? Whole phrase.
The book has been read.
Was read or has been read. Now,
Yes.
pustakam pathitam ramena.
The book has been read by Rama.
Okay. Pustakena pathitena kim bhavati? Kim labhyase? Or
What-
kim labhase? Let's make it simpler. Kim labhase? Pustakena pathitena kim labhase? Somebody else. Anybody else? New people?
What do you
Pustak-
get by?
Raise your hand, Geeta. Answer. Better you do that way, okay?
1 minute. Yeah, I have to search where is the.
You have to know this all when you come to Zoom class now onwards. Otherwise, it's hard for me. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. So now you tell me.
Pustakena pathitam. What you say?
Pustakena patitena kim labhase.
By reading book, what do you get?
What do you gain?
What do you
What
gain?
do you gain? Labhase. What do you gain? Do you understand now what we did? You know all the words now. I am just helping you connect them. Okay? So, you know, once you know a word, you can extend your reach. All right? Okay. Now, pathita. Let's take another word now. Labdhatu. Same pratyaya add ta. And I will tell you what it becomes. It becomes labdha. Labdha. What will it mean now? Labdha. I want to know the meaning of labdha. Same people. Others are not able to understand. Priyanka.
Was gained.
Make it more specific. What is the karaka? Karma, right? I want you to be clear when you say it. You're right. I just want you to be more clear.
Was gained.
Something was gained, that object that was gained. See, the object that was gained is being said by the word labdha. Right? Now, you want to say that a person gained a husband. Person gained a husband. Now, husband is patihi, masculine. What will you say? Yes, Santosh.
Taya patihi labdha. Labdhaya.
No. You have to be careful, okay? Labdha has been gained. By her, husband has been gained. Suppose you want to say that. By her, husband has been gained. Who wants to answer? Sampath, you want to answer? Priyanka, go ahead.
Labdhaha.
Correct?
Patihi labdhaha.
Good. Patihi labdha. Now I want to say by her. Use the pratipadika tat. That is masculine. Taya. Taya patihi labdhaha. Is it clear? Okay. Now, I want to say by him, a wife was gained. By him, wife was gained. Word for wife is bharya. Akaranta strilinga. I want somebody else who hasn't answered so that I want to know who is not understanding, okay? People understanding are understanding. You can raise, but I will ask people who have not yet answered so far. Come on. Harsha.
Tena bharya labdha.
Tena bharya labdha. Correct? Why did it become labdha? Strilinga. You add one A, it becomes like Rama Shabda. Tena bharya labdha. Now, next sentence I want is by Arjuna, wealth was gained. Wealth is dhana. Newton.
Arjunena dhanam labdham.
Good. Arjunena dhanam labdham. Is this clear to all of you? Understand what is ta pratyaya? What are the dimensions? Bhute, past tense, in the sense of which karaka? Karma or bhava. We haven't seen example of bhava, but karma we are saying. Karma or bhava. Gender, gender neutral. You add a pratyaya to make it feminine. Okay? Now, if you notice now, Arjunena dhanam labdham or tena bharya labdha or taya patihi labdha. In all these three, in what case is the karta? Tena, taya, right? Yes, Archana?
Oh, no, sorry, I was answering. It's in the third case.
Yeah, please answer.
Third case.
Third case. Good. Now, when do you find the karta in third case? What kind of prayoga is that?
Karmani or
Karmani or bhave. You understand now? So now what have I done? I have extended your understanding of karmani bhave prayoga. It's no longer just lakara. Now you can use, you don't know, see, if you want to say past tense, by her husband was gained, you have to know lang lakara. You don't know, but you can still say it now. How? Just by using kta pratyaya word. So what will be equivalent? Use lang lakara. You know, saha, you know, bharyam alabhat. I have to say, alabhat you have to learn. But bharya will go in second case. You understand now? So when you have a krdanta word, a krdanta word, which is denoting the karma, and if you put in the first case, what prayoga will it be? If you have a word denoting the karma in first case, what prayoga will it be? Karmani or bhave, correct? Karmani or bhave. Are you with me? Anybody lost? These are all very significant things, okay? You understand them and you will be winners because your vocabulary will just grow in no time. And your usage facility with sentence so easy now. So this is how the language will grow. Now, there are obviously a lot of things we have to know. Forms can change a little. Forms can change, but you know the meaning. Now, I will tell you one more pratyaya. Okay? What is this pratyaya? This pratyaya is called ktavatu. Instead of ta, tavatu. Content is tavat. Content is tavat. Now, what are the questions you have to ask me? New pratyaya. You have to ask me questions about the pratyaya. What question will you ask me? Yes, Harsha.
Which karaka?
Which karaka? Okay, I will give that answer to you. Karaka is kartari, karta, kartri karaka. Next question.
Which time?
Which time? Time is past. Any other question?
Which gender?
Gender neutral. Okay, I have given you the answers. What is it now? Kartri karaka, past tense, gender neutral. And I will now form a word. Pat dhatu. Because all of you know pat dhatu, I'm staying with those, okay? I'm not expanding dhatus too much. Pat. It will become patitavat. See, till now what did you see? Suppose ta pratyaya you get patita. Gam becomes what? Gata. Now you add tavat will become gatavat. Gatavat. Patitavat. Labdhavat. Gyatavat. All right. Now you have to know what is it ending in? Labdhavat, patitavat. What is it ending in? Takara. So how will it decline? Which word will you use for masculine? Template? Yes, Ravindranath. Unmute and answer.
Marut.
Marut. Very good. Do you know Marut Shabda or you don't know yet? It won't go like Marut exactly. Unfortunately, it'll go like Dhimat. Takara is correct because Takaranta are multiple words. If you have looked at the slide number 4, you'd know by now. That's why it was given a week and a half in advance, 2 weeks in advance. So I know what I'm planning for. So Dhimat is the word. Dhiman, Dhimantau, Dhimantah. Dhimantam, Dhimantau, Dhimatah. This is how it will go. Rest will be like Marut. First 5, you have to be careful. Okay. So now, Gatavat will become what? Gatavan, Gatavantau, Gatavantah. Now my question is, what does Gatavan mean? Translate for me. Raise your hand. Anybody else? Santosh, who else? Archana, Amyanshu, all known suspects now. Archana, you can try.
one who has gone, one who has
What are the three dimensions?
used for
Karta is,
karka.
the karaka is kartru, correct. Past tense.
Yeah. So one who has gone.
One who has gone, the agent who has gone, correct. The one who has gone, correct. Okay. Can you make a sentence?
My sister who has gone. So
Good. My sister who has gone. Good. My sister who has gone somewhere. Who has gone to town. Let us say my sister has gone to town. Make it simpler. No, that won't work. My sister who has gone to town is younger than me. Can be English. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't have to translate everything. Basic thing is now you have to say who has gone. You want sister or brother? If you want sister, we have one more question now. My sister who has gone. What's the gender? Feminine. Okay. So now you have to make a feminine gender out of this neutral gender. It's gender neutral word. Gender neutral is what? Ktavatu. Now, to make it feminine, you have to add E. What should you add? E. I know you won't remember all this, okay? Don't worry. Your attention should be to understand. Remembering will come later. All right? Understand clearly. What will it become now, Archana?
Gatavati.
Gatavati. Not Gatavati. Gatavati. What will it decline like?
It will define like body.
Huh?
Gauri. Gauri Shabda.
Gauri Shabda. Correct. Gauri or
Gauri.
Nadi. Correct. Correct. It will decline like Gauri or Nadi. Now you have to say what? Your sister.
I have taken a very bad sentence.
That is it's not a bad sentence. Don't worry. If you want to withdraw, you can withdraw. What's your sentence? You tell me now. What's your sentence English?
My sister who has gone is coming
My
back.
sister, huh?
My sister who has gone is coming back.
My sister who has gone is coming back. Very nice. My sister who has gone will come back or comes back. Let's say, okay, let's make it a little simpler. Basic thing is my sister who has gone to town. Okay. Now you're having difficulty. Who wants to answer? Harsha, you want to try? All right.
Swasa Shabda.
Huh?
Swasa, Swasarau, Swasaraha.
Good. That is sister. Fair enough. Good. Leave that out. I'm not worried about sister. I'm interested in the Gatavat now. Okay. What will it be?
Gatavati will become Nadi, Nadyau, Nadyaha. So Gatavati.
Gatavati. So Ka Gatavati.
Swasa Gatavati. Mama Swasa Gatavati.
Clear? Mama Swata Gatavati. My sister went. Right? Is the one who has gone, really. Is the agent of going. Where did she go?
Nagaram.
Nagaram Gatavati. Is this clear now? Mama Swasa Nagaram Gatavati. Okay. Then what? She has a complication. What she's not happy with that much. She wants and is coming back. Right? Who else? Who wants to do this now? Santosh. Go ahead.
Mama swasa gatavati.
Huh.
Na punha apunha agatavati.
Napuna. See, you made your own sentence. And she didn't come back. That's not the sentence. We want and he is coming back. And she is coming back. Now, to come back, you don't know what is. Gum is to go. To return is a plus gum. Agacha. Okay. Agacha. Agam. Agam. Now, you have to say, and she is coming back. And she is coming back. Who wants to try? Raise your hand. Yes, Manjula.
Mama Bhagini Gatavati Pratyagachati cha.
Okay. Fair enough. Pratyagachati cha. Even if you say agachati cha, it's enough.
Agachati.
Agachati cha is enough. Pratyagachati is also good. Returns. Is this clear? You see how beautifully we are able to work with this? Any difficulty? You only have to be familiar with some forms, some dhatus. It's not hard. You have done a lot of good work. All right? This is kartari. But suppose now I want to say this in a different way. Karmani, then I have to use gatavat and play with that. All right. So now tavatu, gatavat, patitavat, right? Veditavat, new. He is the knower, agent of knower in the past. Labdhavat, take anything. Bhutavat, bhudhatu. So you have your world open up. What do we do? Kta, ktavatu, two pratyayas. What are they added in what sense? Karka is karma or bhava. Karma or bhava. What's the time? Past tense. Bhute. Bhute karmani bhave va or kta pratyayah bhavati. Karmani bhave. Bhute kartari arthe tavatu pratyayah bhavati. This sentence you will translate now. In the meaning of past, in the meaning of kartru, you can get tavatu pratyaya. Ganeshan, you have a question?
Swamiji, Acharya Van, that one will be in
That is different.
Okay.
Look, just because, look at this now. Good question. Let me answer that. The word now is saying Acharyavan. Now, what is the content there? Acharyavat is the pratipadika.
Yeah.
Acharyavat. Is Acharya dhatu?
No.
Is it dhatu?
Char dhatu.
Is Acharya a dhatu?
No.
No.
Okay.
You are adding a pratyaya to a noun. Acharya. To that you are adding an. That is not krdanta. That is called tadhita. Okay. So that means the one who has an acharya. That's a different meaning. That's tadhita pratyaya, not krit. We are adding krit pratyaya only to a dhatu. So it will become charitavat, acharitavat. If you want, I'll make it. Acharitavat. Then acharitavat will become acharitavan. It doesn't mean teacher now. One who conducted himself in that way in the past.
Okay.
Therefore, dhanavan, acharyavan, buddhiman, these are all tadhita words. They are not in this category. Just because they end in vat or mat, it doesn't mean it's the same. But both will decline the same way, thankfully. Dhimat will take care of both dhanavat as well as patitavat. So you can see now, by learning one dhimat shabda, you will open up your universe to all tavatu ending words. Importance of learning a shabda. You learn marut, 5 more forms you get dhimat. That's why those slides are in place for you to memorize and know what they are or be familiar. Douglas, you have a question?
Yes, can we use the pronoun yaha with this? Like yaha, patitavat?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Pronouns, see, all you have done now is instead of a pure tinganta as a verb, we have a hybrid, which is a noun and a verb. Right? It's a noun and a verb. See, in the last example, I said, you know, bhagini or swasa, right? Bhagini ktavati. Nagaram gatavati. What object? Nagaram is object of what? Of the gam dhatu in gatavati. So it's like a verb. It will take an object. So it will work. Pronouns can be done. Ya nagaram gatavati. The one who went to town. Sa pratyagachati. She is going to come back. Kasa, who is that? Mama bhagini. So Archana, see, your sentence is not difficult, is it? It's not difficult. You just have to have more vocabulary. Who is sister, who is uncle, etc. That's okay. Don't worry about it. That's a smaller problem. If you understood what the subject matter is, you have done well. If you don't have words, it can be learned. That's not my focus. Words you will learn. This is clear? Any questions? Good. Don't be shy, okay? If you don't understand, ask. If you are shy, it will be your loss, not mine. Yes, Venkat.
Swamiji, in the previous example, can we say Mama Swasa Nagaram gatavati tata agachita.
Tatha? What's the last part?
Agachit.
Do you know the forms or not? Gandhatu, lat lakara.
I'm just learning. Sorry.
So you have to learn that. Then only you'll use the correct form. But if you know what, you have to use third person singular. Then you're okay. So far you use that form, you'll be fine. Yes, Sampath.
You should not feel lost, Swamiji. I think I didn't get it. The whole thing.
The whole thing. Now that you listen to the whole lecture, then that's all I can say to you. All right. Because at each point I'm asking is it clear. If you don't ask earlier, then you have to catch up later. Whole thing is too much to talk about because I have talked a lot for 1 hour now. I can't repeat everything in 2 minutes, right? You ask me a specific question, I can answer it.
So here we are adding a pratyaya to the dhatu to get a pratipadika.
Correct.
So, and
that pratipadika, to understand its meaning, we said you have to understand the dhatu, of course, and in which sense is that pratyaya added? Which karaka? Which time? And does it have a gender specificity? That's all. Once you understand these three components and dhatu, there is nothing more to be. You say, I don't understand. I don't know what you don't understand. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. You just have to add these three components and you'll get a new word. Okay. So look at this now. Where is it? Just 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Look at this now. Okay. We pick a dhatu. This is our dhatu. Sorry. I can pick any dhatu, right? In fact, if I remove this and just do that. Oh, why did it do that? Okay, let's do one thing. We'll just go to dhatu padha. Right? Now you pick a dhatu. Let's say I pick bhu. Right? You go into this section called krdanta. What will you find? A bunch of words. Bhavanam. What's the pratyaya? Lyut. What is the pratyaya we looked at just now? We looked at the bhutaha. He's giving forms, padam, which means masculine, singular. One form, ekavachana. Feminine, singular form. Similarly, tavatu, bhutavan, bhutavati. Similarly, gatavan, gatavati. Right? Aniya, bhavaniya, bhavaniyaha, bhavanam. Abstract meaning of the dhatu. So there are more. Bhavitum we saw earlier. Tavya we just saw. Bhavitavya. So you can see now how many words you get. Trich I spoke about. I said karta, kartri. All these words. Lyap we saw. Prabhuya. So you tell me now, which of these words can you not understand? Once you understand these pratyayas, okay? All the words should be able to translate. And you go pick a dhatu of your choice. You want to pick a dhatu lab? Pick lab. You get lab, go in, find tinganta, krdanta. Where is it? It'll show you. Lambhanam is gaining. Lambhaniyaha, be gained. An object to be gained. Don't worry about null. We'll talk about it. Means same, karta, kartr. Labdhum, to gain. Avya, we saw it last time. Labdhavyaha, an object to be gained. Masculine, feminine forms are given. Neutral will be same. Labdhavyam it will become. That's all. Then trich, one who gains, agent of gaining. This one is timeless. No time. Tavatu was past tense. This is no time. Labdha, one who gains, agent of gaining. Labdhva, having gained. Pralabhya with an upasarga, having gained. Labdhavan, one who has gained in the past. Labdhavati, feminine, who has gained in the past. Kta, labdhaha, some object was gained. Like this, you can now pick any dhatu and find the forms. Declensions you should know. Now you will have a command over a huge array of words. This is not the whole story, okay? Because that pratyaya kta which we added sometimes can also be added in the sense of karta. Okay? Sometimes it can be added in the sense of present tense. So there are complications, okay? I have right now given you the most general case. Exceptions are there, many of them. But Exceptions should be looked at a little later. First step is to what? To understand this. So this ta and tavatu and tavya, aniya, these are a huge set of words, which if it's first case, the word pratipadika in first case, you will find karmani prayoga. And that is a very big understanding if you gain it, because a lot of verses, sentences, Gita, etc. will now occur in your head. You'll know the meanings as you see. You'll be able to connect them. Okay? And these pratyayas, kta and ktavatu, these two pratyayas together are also called nishtha. Nothing to do with Vedanta nishtha, okay? It's a Paninian term, nishtha. If you can remember, remember. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's useful. It will be useful. Okay? So this tavya, aniya, etc., these have another name also. They're called Krt Pratyayas, a few of them. So these are all terms which I will introduce again. This is just a trailer, okay? I give you a trailer for next class in the end of one class. That's how even Shastra does. Gita, every chapter, they give a trailer of next chapter in the end of one chapter. So I'm following that method. I give a trailer, which we will build on later. But the idea is, you get a form which has the meaning, which can have the verbal meaning, dhatu artha, plus a karaka. And now you have to know how to use it. That's why I said you should write the word kata, labdha, and put in all cases. See, do you understand? In every case, can you understand the meaning? Case and number. Like Rama Shabda, no trouble. All right. So there are these few pratyayas, this ta, ktavatu, and this tavya, aniya, etc., ending words. These are all words which will go in karmani or bhave prayoga. That is an important point I want to extend, because that will give you the ability to handle a lot of verses. I'm stressing that, repeating myself, not running, so that you follow this clearly. Okay. So I'm sure we'll have some of our, see, vagarthavya sampriktau vagartha pratipadaye. See, vagarthavya sampriktau. That prayer verse, sampriktau is ta pratyaya. They are coalesced. So like this, you will find n number of words you will find. In Gita, I'm sure you will find a lot of words like this. You just go looking, you'll find. It's a good exercise, Look for words in Gita, which is ending in ta pratyaya. Good exercise for yourself, just to play. You study Vedanta, you do this exercise. So it becomes dual exercise. All right. So these are all what? Krdanta pratipadikas. They are krdanta pratipadikas. So what should you do now? You make sure you know the ending, the declension for dhimat. Make sure you know it. Marut, dhimat, suhrit, they're all in one sheet. Memorize them. All right? Because then you will get two kinds of words. One is this tavatu ending, agent who has done something in the past. Plus you will get all the persons who own something, like dhanavat, one who has money, buddhimat, one who has buddhi, one who has cows, gomat, like all these words also decline like dhimat. So you will get those. And it's a huge set. So our vocabulary just grows. You know a pratipadika, you know the one who has it. You know a dhatu, you know the agent of that in the past. That much you gain. All right. So look at these. It's almost 7:30. I don't want to overload, so that what is understood should be well understood. If you need to re-listen to the class, do it. But understand these well. Because now all I have to say is what? Any Krt questions, you have to ask me what? Which karakas? May not be one karaka, it could be multiple karakas. Which karaka? Then what else? What is in timeline? Where in timeline? And is it gender neutral or gender specific? Ask these questions. know the dhatu artha, combine the two, make a meaning. It's very logical. People say I have difficulty memorizing. You don't have to memorize. You see the word, you understand it. The word talks to you. That's what I mean by the word talks to you. As I said, right now, you understand that this extent understanding is not complete. So as I said, the pratyaya generally is added in the sense of past tense. All right. Generally added in the sense of karma. Now, one exception I will give you. What is the exception? You can add Krt Pratyaya if it's added to an akarmaka dhatu. Now, hopefully you all remember what is akarmaka now. All this is set up for you. What is akarmaka? A dhatu which cannot take an object. If it's added to an akarmaka dhatu. Now, here the question somebody asked, but sakarmaka dhatu is also going karmani prayoga. Those are not included now. Only pure akarmaka dhatus, which cannot take an object. Or a dhatu which has a sense of movement, walk, run, fall, etc. Karma, the gatyarthaka dhatus. To these two kind of dhatus, you can add the kta pratyaya in the sense of karta also. You can add it in the sense of karta also. Now, what did I change? One dimension. What is the dimension? Karaka dimension is changed. Past tense remains. Gender neutralness remains. But now it became what? Kartru karaka. So what will you get now? So if you take gam dhatu, gata will now mean what? Same as katavat. No difference in meaning. Because all we did is made it agent. One who has gone in the past. One who has gone. Agent of going in the past. But I cannot make pathita, pathita won't work because it's akarmaka. You can't do it there. Only for akarmaka dhatus. So I can say, hataha can mean, hata can mean one who killed or one who is killed. Both meanings are possible. So like this, you will have some challenges. So now, once you know this extra piece of meaning, when you see a word, you can't blindly say it is object. You have to know in context. Is it object or is it karta? You have to know. How will you know? By seeing what's the case and number of karta. If it's third case, then you know it's in karmani prayoga. You play with that. So you use one piece of knowledge to extend yourself in another direction. It's very beautiful. Very simple and very beautiful. Just take some time to get familiar. Yes, Ganesh.
Swamiji, Sanskritam itself is a Kta Pratyaya.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Samyak kritam. It's not just the krita is the ikta pratyaya. And I won't say ikta, I'll say kta pratyaya. Okay. E is only extra because you don't have a vowel in the beginning. But we have vowel in the end. So kta is enough. Don't say ikta. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Douglas.
There's a pratyaya like this in English, which is ABLE. It means you can do something, readable, eatable, drinkable.
Yeah.
Is there one? Is there an equivalent one like this in Sanskritam?
What I told you, tavya and aniya will work. Because an object. Eatable is an object that can be eaten. Correct? So it's an object, karma. You just need a pratyaya which is karma. And now the question is it time specific? So eatable in English is gender neutral. Is gender neutral. Right? And in Sanskrit also, tavya, aniya are gender neutral. So it will work equally, no trouble. But in a context, it can also have the force of it must be eaten. So it's not just eatable. Eatable has only a possibility of being eaten. It can be eaten. Mud is not eatable. Food is eatable. Right? But if I say mud is khaditavyaha, then it can have a meaning of you must eat it. That's the extra shade. Not always there, can be there. So in fact, in the Vedas, see, we say vidhiling lakara, lot lakara are two which give mandates. And to that we add a third one, tavya. So a common statement is Veda is all about ling, lot, tavya. Means orders. Do it. Should be done. That's the idea. So ling, lot, tavya is very popular in the Veda, in the karma kanda. And tavya means you add aniya. And I didn't extend ya because it has got more variety. But there's one more ya. So kartavya, karaniya, karya. Patitavya, pataniya, pathya. These are all equivalent of, your readable.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but the only thing I said is they could have extra meanings in Sanskrit. And they are well defined. The meanings of possible meanings are well defined. Dhatu artha can change, but possible meanings are well defined of pratyayas. So the entire trick is, you know the meaning of the pratyaya, you know the meaning of that to which the pratyaya is added, prakriti. Prakriti pratyaya meaning will give you the meaning of the basic word. And now you have to know the forms. How will it decline? Whether verb or noun, how will it decline? That's just now. Once it declines, you have extra headache now. Which case, which number, what meaning? That's how it works. At each level, you use prakriti pratyaya. All right? You can see it's fun or not, Sanskritam. You should see it's the fun in it, the beauty in it. Because by learning something, you learn so much more. Not hard. People have made Sanskritam into some monster. Oh, it's very difficult. It is not. It's easy. Easy enough. All right. Any questions? Whole class has been taking questions, so should not have many. But if you have any, please ask. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, other than these three, like we want to look into gender, time zone, and which karaka. Is there any other factor which we use to classify?
Extra meaning. I told you. Should be done. That's extra. That's extra meaning. Could be something more. See, I'm not trying to get into every nook and corner right now, but these are the main ones.
So do we have some sort of a classification for Krt Pratyayas to keep in mind, like bhuta, time, like this thing, and karaka? Like, do we have any classification like that?
This is the classification.
Okay.
This is the classification. Which gender? Which time? Bhute, bhavishyati, vartamane, time. Why do you need another classification? If there is one which you need, you will be told. There is nothing that's necessary.
No, like if you put like the last class we told that they are avyayas, tumun, pratyaya, lyap, and this. So
yeah.
Can we categorize it just to memorize and to learn how to use them?
Don't try to do anything right now. Let some time pass. Okay, I will help you with that as required. Because on day one, I don't want to overload too many things. But in general, what I'm saying will hold true. You maintain it as 3 dimensions. That's the best way. A time dimension, a karka dimension, and a potential gender dimension, and any special extra meanings. See, tumun was not in any of these categories. If you noticed, it doesn't fit. If you ask me for tuman, I cannot answer these questions directly to you. There'll be some difficulty. It's an extra. It's some special meanings there. Possible. So exceptions will be there, but majority will work well. As I told you, my goal is what? 20% of the effort should get you 80% of the result. That's my focus, okay? The 80% for which you require, for 20% which you require 80% effort, I will not do. I will not get into it generally. Because I want you to learn quickly and enjoy it. Then if you enjoy it, you will learn the remaining 80 in your own time. Okay? So right now, just hold on to that. And the way I'm trying to teach you is tomorrow, if I introduce you Panini Sutras, you will see how easy it is to follow. This is all Panini's brilliance. It has nothing to do with me. He sets it up like this. By time, and they run concurrently. A timeline runs, within that a karaka line runs, or a karaka line runs, and within that a timeline runs. Special meanings come in between. General rule, exception. That's the whole system. That is Panini's system. It's brilliant. So if you read the sutras, you will understand categorization without worrying. And if you try to memorize, categorize differently, you will one day miss something, because sutras have captured the entire thing in a very beautiful way, with exceptions and rules appropriately at the right points. And if you try any other categorization, likelihood is we will miss something. So I don't want to introduce anything more than necessary. You may not study Panini in all detail. It's okay. But still, all the terms you're hearing is Paninian. And I hope that in some time, we will be able to look at some of these and you'll be able to walk through it and understand them. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else? All right. So we'll do a prayer. Close. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.